Hello and welcome to Fiberman. Sometimes I wonder why I get involved in some of these groups, Facebook groups for fibromyalgia. Now, one of the groups that I regularly post in is a male orientated group, and the other one is mixed. Often the posts that are on there, it's more about telling everybody their latest pain. It's a bit like photographing your food. It's, it's a bit ridiculous, some of it is. It really is. I think it's a cry for help, really. Also, a way of expressing yourself, maybe sharing with other people, maybe makes these people feel a little bit better about their condition or the problems they're suffering with at that time. Sometimes I feel that it's a little bit exaggerated as well. But as a fibromyalgia sufferer, and I took a little bit, it's taken me quite a long while to open up about it, really, and also get a diagnosis. And men are notorious, aren't they, for not speaking out, not speaking about stuff that troubles them. So much of it becomes unreported. In Whitehead, please beat the old like button. Now, if it's unreported, there's going to be a disparity between whether or not there's more male sufferers or female sufferers. Now, I think it's a fairly foregone conclusion there's more female sufferers of fibromyalgia, but I won't be a bit surprised if there are rather a lot of men that don't actually come forward about it, don't talk about it. Now, it is a chronic disorder, and it's characterised by muscle pain, generalised muscle pain through the body. You get fatigue, sleep disorders, and stuff like that. Cognitive difficulties as well. Sort of brain fog and that. But it does predominantly affect women. But men can also suffer with it. But they often do it in silence. Now, a lot of it's cultural. And face, I suppose, medical and psychological barriers and that to being taken seriously and receiving treatment. Because when I first started realising what was wrong with me, I tell people they felt like this whole an imaginary condition, like it's not real. There's no such thing as fibromyalgia, but there is. I know that now, firsthand. Now, while the condition is actually well documented now, the male experience remains under discussed, which only furthers its invisibility, really. Now, fibromyalgia actually affects 2 to 4% of the world's population. That's quite common, Not this vast percentage. Most of them are women. Most of them are women. There's no doubt about it. I'm not trying to smidge. I'm not trying. Oh, we get it more than you do. No, not at all. But I do believe there's more men that has it than that gets recorded. So the problem there is you get a lot of the research that's done is using models that are using female subjects, for instance, instead of male subjects, which I think could potentially be an issue. Sexist. That's what it is. It's sexist. There is an undiagnosis in men as a result. There's gender bias. And it plays a significant role, really, doesn't it, in making fibromyalgia invisible among men. Now, the diagnosis is more frequent in women, meaning that more male patients are being underrepresented in clinical studies and diagnoses. Now, however, there is this imbalance, which obviously definitely does exist, because of diagnostic criteria and assessment tools do not always capture the symptoms as they present in men. And a recent study found that specific subgroups of patients, what have you, are reporting pain in multiple areas of the body. Now, I do. Sometimes it's just in localized areas, and other times it's pretty much every muscle in my body. It's no telling. So, and men were less less likely to receive any formal diagnosis of fibromyalgia compared to women, because those, I suppose doctors and whatever, they expect it more in women. You say it seems to be more of a dragged out uh, situation with men. Now, we've also got to realise that there's masculinity, expectations of masculinity. Got to be strong. Amongst men, and that we corner ourselves. We put ourselves in this box and try to protect ourselves. Really, I suppose. When we should really be open and talk about it, so we get proper diagnosis, but also get some support. Sometimes you need support. I'm quite fortunate. My dear wife, she's very good. She's very caring, and she understands. She sees. We spend a lot of time together, and she sees the agony that I'm in at times. But you still got this social pressure, and it can lead to individuals not seeking, men not seeking any medical help. Or go to health professionals, or any attempt at minimising their symptoms. And for me, I've found that duloxetine, which is basically a mild dose of 30 milligrams a day of it's an antidepressant, and I find that really works for me. That does wonders. It might not later, but at the moment, it's definitely the best treatment I've got at the moment. Only recently gone on, and it helps considerably. Now, so let's say it is underexplored and in clinical settings. So, there is a potential situation that we're going to have treatments out there. If there's any specific treatments that aren't really geared for men and women, it's when the studies are really sort of more aimed at at women's problems instead of men's problems. We don't seem to have the same issues. And if you talk about large muscle groups and stuff like that, which I get quite a bit of pain in my back, what have you. I'm quite strong. I used to work out a lot, not so much these days. I'm fat now, but when you've got large muscle groups, they seem to be affected more, and the pain's more intense, and it seems to linger for longer. And it's but there's all nuances with all this, isn't there? And we need to delve deep into individual specific challenges, and which are faced by men, not just women, with this disease. Now, it took me quite a while really to get my head around it all and understand what was going on in my body. Why was I getting all this pain? Why am I getting all these problems? First of all, it's just joint pain and stuff like that around the muscle areas, around my joints. I had all these scans and that, and there's nothing there. There's no signs of arthritis or any problems there. And it's one scan, one this after another, and different tests, blood tests and something, until finally they managed to find, do the old pressure point test and stuff like that. And fairly confident that it's fibromyalgia. I am now, to be honest. Such as when I had a COVID jab the other day, it triggered my fibromyalgia, and I got a lot of pain in my legs and stuff, and my buttocks. But yeah, it's buttocks. It's a funny word. Which is it's quite common with people with fibromyalgia. There's loads of things you can correlate the two together. I'm fairly confident that it is fibromyalgia. So anyway, what say you? Please leave it in the comments down below, but please hit the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel. Well, it's time for me to go and say toodaloo. Toodaloo.